Hey, just figured I'd do a quick little plot tour. A little bit earlier than the end of the month, but it's a gorgeous morning and things are doing really well. So I just fancied a little wander around, a little recap of how things are going. Starting at the top here, we've got the black currants and the red and white currants. I mean, there's tons of these. I'm hoping they're the white currants, which I believe are sweeter than the red currants. Got straws everywhere. And there's lots of fruit grown, so that's really good. My gooseberries are doing okay. I don't think this one has fruited at all, but if we look over here, this one has a good amount of fruit set on it, and I think, yeah, so this one as well has some fruit on it. Some larger berries over there, so that's all looking really good. This bed over here has loads of strawberries coming along, which I'm really pleased about, and my blueberries are just getting strengthened this year. This plant, I can't remember what it actually is. I bought it last year when I bought the blueberries, but I can't find the receipt for it, and it has these little fruits on them. I remember I bought it for something a little different, but I have no idea what it is. This complete strawberry bed, I've cut off a load of the runners and I've left some, but as you can see, I'm going to have a glut of strawberries next month. My onions over here are doing all right, but with the insane rain we've had this last week, some of them have started to bolt, so I've just taken the tops off. But yeah, so you've got some good stems coming through, so hopefully have some decent onions in another month or so. This bed needs weeding. I've got lots of horse's tail, lots of couch grass starting to come through, but in the meantime I have planted some red cabbage. Obviously got the carrots that I sowed at the beginning of the year. That I think is one of the Brussels that I sowed at the beginning of the year, as is that, but unfortunately something's got in and eaten a load of it. But otherwise, yeah, I've got tons of carrots, so I'm going to be eating lots of carrots throughout the summer. Over here now, I think this is purple spray and broccoli, and these have had a really big growth spurt. So what I've done in the last week is I've removed all of this wooden posted and put the 1.8 put the taller bamboo stalks and netted over, so hopefully this is now big enough to contain all of these. And a lot of the lettuce that I grew from seed has actually survived, so that's I'm really pleased about. So I'll just be taking cuttings of those leaves in the coming weeks and months. This is almost certainly Brussels sprouts, so I'm going to be eating a lot of Brussels later in the year. This bed's doing all right. Me tatties are doing absolutely brilliantly now. Every day I come up, there's been a noticeable growth spurt. Haven't watered these for a little while, but again, with the rain that we've had, I'm pretty sure there's been ample watering. I've actually let's get these mushrooms. There's fungus stalks out here. Ugh, minging. I transplanted a potato that I found in another bed into here because this one just hadn't grown at all. Broad beans, absolutely spectacular broad beans. And at the moment, I don't want to jinx it, but oh no, I was going to say there was no black fly, but boom, yeah, loads of black fly. So okay, so I'll hit these with the hose pipe in a bit. Although, I mean, that one's got it pretty bad, but the others are pretty good. There's not really much of an infestation on the other plants. So there's one there. There's one there, but otherwise, yeah, not doing too badly. But I mean, in previous years, I haven't really noticed any difference to the broad beans, to the yield. So I might just leave them, but I could give them a squirt with the hose pipe. Here, asparagus bed. None of the other crowns that I bought have actually popped their heads up. So what I'm going to do here is continue to weed it as the year goes on, and I'm going to sow a whole fresh bunch of asparagus, and then so this will just be left for a year or two. My sweet corn, I had a really good germination rate from this bed. There's a couple missing here and a couple missing here. I've sowed some butternut squash in these corners, or some chikikiri, some sort of squash. So this bed will just over the next month or two, we should see some sweet corn grow up to here, and just snaking through should be my squashes. This bed of mostly beetroot and salad leaves is doing really well. I'm not sure how well I could. I mean, so this beetroot here right now, it's actually got some little baby beets on it. So I'm half tempted to start pulling these. Certainly the leaves are really good in salads. So I could do that with some of that. Over here since last month, this bed is a bed of chilies interspersed with some butthead lettuce. So you'll have a chili here, some lettuce there, chili here, some lettuce there, chili there, etc. And then a watermelon, and I'm hoping that will just snake across there. This bed looks empty, but I've sown a bunch of stuff in the last day or so. So there's some pak choi and kohlrabi have gone in here. I brought out the last of my chilies in here, and a watermelon just to fill the bed out. My tomatillos, which has been a bit of a disaster this year. So I planted this one out, and it had a real big growth spurt, and then something snapped the head on it. But I think it's still alive. I mean, it still looks like it's reasonably alive. So I've not taken it out, and I'm hoping that it will just self-heal. I've put a tiny little baby tomatillo there in the hope that it'll come out. But I think this year's just going to be a write-off for those. And then at the back there, I sowed some marifat and peas. Excuse me. So it'd be interesting to see how they do. And then as we go through to the polytunnel, the tomatoes have all pretty much doubled, if not tripled in size in the last week or two. Really pleased with those. My cucumber is taking off now, which is good. Aubergine, something had a nibble on that, but it's recovered recovered really well. My chilies haven't really grown that much, although now I'm looking at it, I think some of these are now starting to have a growth spurt, which is good. But the ones in the buckets are actually doing the best. I mean, this is a death spiral, and it's so luscious and so healthy. And the same with this one. So this is a Carolina Reaper. So this is going to be absolutely monstrous, but really pleased with how well that's going. We've got sweet pepper there, and this is the cucumber that last month had pretty much died off, and as you can see, you know, it's making a stellar comeback. And on the side, so the jalapeno's doing all right. First couple of buds on the jalapeno, although that one died. No, I might get a first jalapeno, little stubby jalapeno there. But yeah, so polytunnel is looking good. Let's have a look at the front. And then at the front, really, I'm really chuffed with these. By the time we do the June update, these are going to be magnificent. So you can see a load of sunflowers over here, lots and lots of sunnies, and bulbs of various types. So really pleased with these. These are going to be monsters. They'll be kind of up here. They're really good. And then finally, last but not least, I actually didn't know this was here when I got the plot at the beginning of the year, but this is an enormous clump of rhubarb, which has very thick stems on it. So these are really good, but I'm being a bit careful in here because it's also full of stinging nettles. So it's a bit of a lucky or unlucky dip. So that's the plot this month. It's absolutely glorious up here today. I just thought I'd do a little video, and actually it's turned into a 10-minute jobby. But yeah, really pleased. I mean, it would be better, it would be more aesthetically pleasing if it wasn't just covered in green scaffold netting the entire plot. But the reality is, if I don't do that, then the locals will just come and dig through the beds. So, I mean, the brassicas, you just have to keep netted anyway. But some of these things, you know, like the sweet corn and the chilies and lettuce, I should just be able to lift the netting up, but I just don't want them to be dug out. So who knows, maybe in another month or so I'll just try taking some of these down and see how we get on. But in the meantime, I just live with it. Anyway, I'm rambling now. Have a smashing Sunday, and I'll see you again soon.